Hello, I'm Paul Russ. I am retired. I spent my career working in two fields, aerospace, component design and development, and various aspects of nuclear power, spanning over 40 years. I have always been around cars my entire life, and I remember probably when I was like 6 or 7 years old, my older brother Joe had a Jaguar XK120, and it had it all apart in the garage. And I can remember looking at the engine, and from that moment on, I was always a car guy. I remember the first time I went to England, it was still very early on, and they still had very tiny cars, and that always impressed me. But I had always been a British car fan or a German car fan, when I was younger. So seeing the cars in their natural setting was something gratifying. The Lotus I've had for approximately 34 years. It sat in the wings waiting, or in the queue, as my British friends would say, for many years, because I had many other car projects that took priority over it. But I had researched the car early on when I bought it. It's a 1967 Lotus. It has a very interesting history in that it was one of the few cars that was actually factory assembled. Lotus actually would sell the Lotus Elans as a kit, and they would do that to avoid for their customers having to pay value-added taxes to the British government, and they would assemble the car. In this case, Lotus assembled the car. They sold it through a dealership in Japan, in Tokyo, and it was bought by an American serviceman. The American serviceman raced it in Japan, and when he came back to the United States, he brought the car with him. He sold it through another individual, and it went through probably about 4 or 5 other owners, which I've traced the way through. So I have the complete history of the car, and I also have documentation or photographs of it when it first came back to the United States. So I know the condition it was in when it was raced in Japan. Now I'm in a full restoration on the car. I probably have about another year to go, but I'm restoring the car to the condition it was in when it was raced in Japan. And I'm doing a restoration that will be very nice, but I'm also intending to drive it. These cars were meant to be driven. To me, the ultimate race is the 24 hours of Le Mans. To put a race car on a track and have it perform at its peak performance for 24 hours is just such a phenomenal thing to do. I love Indy. Indy certainly is the greatest spectacle in motor racing, but if it comes down to it, I have to say Le Mans is the pinnacle. And I had the pleasure of being there one year, and I can remember I actually got there after the race had started. It was late afternoon, and I can remember walking into the track, and you'd hear the high-pitched whine of all the prototypes, the Porsches, the Ferraris, and then coming out of the last turn onto the main straight, I heard this distinctive low rumble, and it was the rumble of a Corvette. And to see the Corvette, the American team go through there just sent goosebumps through me. I think as I look through the years of all the racing that I've done, I raced all the way up to about 5 or 6 years ago. In club racing and racing in general, there's a camaraderie there amongst the people involved. You would go to a race and you'd be there from Friday evening all the way through Saturday or Sunday afternoon. And it was like a big family in an open paddock. And even still to this day, racing is that kind of family. And it's the ultimate competition. And to succeed in those areas is just, something that is truly wonderful.